Gypsy Rose Blanchard's story is one of the most shocking and tragic cases of maternal betrayal the world has ever seen. It's a tale of manipulation, psychological torment, and ultimately murder. But why did Gypsy Rose kill her own mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard? To understand the crime, we need to delve into the dark and disturbing world of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a rare mental health condition that formed the backdrop of Gypsy's entire life. This isn't just a story of a daughter turned killer. It's the story of a child desperate to escape a nightmare. From the outside, Gypsy and Dee Dee appeared to share a heartwarming bond. They lived in a modest home in Springfield, Missouri, funded largely by charity and public sympathy. Dee Dee was the devoted mother, tirelessly caring for her severely ill daughter. Gypsy, small for her age, sat in a wheelchair with a shaved head and thick glasses, looking like the epitome of vulnerability. She was portrayed as a victim of numerous illnesses: leukemia, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, and a litany of other conditions. She was said to have the mental capacity of a 7-year-old due to developmental delays. Their story inspired people to donate money, vacations, and even a free house built by Habitat for Humanity. But the truth was far darker. Almost everything about Gypsy's supposed illnesses was a lie. Dee Dee had been fabricating Gypsy's medical conditions for years, forcing her daughter into unnecessary treatments, surgeries, and medications. Gypsy endured everything from feeding tubes to unnecessary surgeries on her salivary glands. Dee Dee had even convinced doctors to prescribe medications that caused side effects mimicking the symptoms of the illnesses she falsely claimed Gypsy had. This cycle of abuse was driven by Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a mental disorder in which a caregiver fabricates or induces illness in someone else, usually a child, to garner attention, sympathy, and control. For Gypsy, life was a prison. She was isolated, unable to walk despite being physically capable, and completely dependent on her mother. Dee Dee tightly controlled every aspect of her daughter's life, monitoring her internet usage, controlling her diet, and even deciding what Gypsy could wear. Dee Dee told people that Gypsy's physical ailments left her unable to walk, but in private, Gypsy knew she could stand and walk just fine. She also knew that her mother's claims about her mental disability were untrue. As Gypsy grew older, she began to see through the lies and understand the extent of the manipulation. But confronting Dee Dee was impossible. Dee Dee's punishments were swift and severe. She threatened Gypsy, telling her she would end up in a group home or die without her. Gypsy was trapped in a web of deceit and abuse, unable to escape. Everything changed when Gypsy secretly accessed the internet. Through Facebook, she discovered a world outside of her mother's control. She began talking to people online and eventually met Nicholas Godejohn, a man she believed was her ticket to freedom. Their relationship quickly turned romantic, and Gypsy confided in Nicholas about her mother's abuse. Together, they devised a plan, one that would end Dee Dee's reign of control forever. On June 14, 2015, their plan was carried out. Nicholas entered the Blanchard home late at night while Dee Dee was asleep. Gypsy waited in the bathroom, covering her ears, as Nicholas stabbed her mother to death. They left the house together, fleeing to Wisconsin, where Nicholas lived. Before they left, Gypsy posted a chilling message to Dee Dee's Facebook page. "That bitch is dead." It was a shocking announcement, one that quickly alerted friends and neighbors. When police arrived at the home, they found Dee Dee's lifeless body in her bedroom and soon discovered Gypsy and Nicholas hundreds of miles away. At first, Gypsy was thought to be a victim of kidnapping, but the truth soon emerged. Gypsy confessed to orchestrating the murder, and the story that followed stunned the nation. The once innocent girl in the wheelchair had orchestrated the murder of her mother, but her reasons painted a far more complicated picture. Gypsy wasn't a cold-blooded killer. She was a victim of abuse, desperate to escape the torment inflicted by her mother. Her actions were not motivated by greed or hatred, but by a primal need for freedom and safety. During her trial, Gypsy's lawyers presented the years of abuse she endured as a mitigating factor. The court and the public grappled with the question, was Gypsy a murderer, or was she a survivor who had been pushed to her breaking point? In 2016, she pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Nicholas Godejohn, who carried out the stabbing, was sentenced to life in prison. But Gypsy's story doesn't end there. After serving over 8 years of her 10-year sentence, Gypsy was released from prison on December 28, 2023. For the first time in her life, she is experiencing true freedom. Gypsy has expressed gratitude for the opportunity to rebuild her life and is focused on advocating for others who have been victims of abuse. Since her release, Gypsy has entered a new chapter of her life. She and her boyfriend, Ken Erker, welcomed their daughter, Aurora, on December 28, 2024. Gypsy has also addressed rumors about Child Protective Services involvement, reassuring the public that Aurora is safe and healthy. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's life is a haunting reminder of the long-lasting effects of abuse and the lengths to which someone will go to reclaim their autonomy. Her journey from victim to survivor underscores the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for freedom, self-determination, and healing.